Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the Olight Canada Facebook page, as well as anyone who might find this video on YouTube. Here today for a quick presentation about the Seeker 2 Pro and everything interesting that I can come up with to say about it, featuring an unboxing of the OD Green Seeker 2 Pro, which I know there's a lot of people who are a fan of this particular model. So today we're going to talk about some of the features that make it an excellent EDC choice. Stick around. Now, I can't forget that we're in the middle of another contest here at Olight Canada. It's the Reviewer 2 contest. So if you want to be a Reviewer 2, go ahead and take a video of any of the items that you got in your most recent flash sale, or any items that you have laying around that you might want to talk about it, because you can be a Reviewer 2. Just use the hashtag. Now let's get into it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, before we get into this, I just want to announce the winner of the comment contest on my last video. Now, Olight Canada was generous enough to include this as part of my prize bundle to give away to a lucky fan. So the winner of the contest is David Belfay for his comment on the X9R Cell color contest. So congratulations, David, for this prize right here. I'll be messaging you and getting your information right away, send it right out to you. Now, let's get into this. Alright, so the Seeker 2 Pro in OD Green. Been really looking forward to this color for some time. They've done the OD Green color on a few other lights now. First one I bought was the M2R Pro. They've also done this OD Green color on the Baton 3, which I hope we see in Canada really soon. The OD Green in the M2R, as well as the Marauder 2, which I think looks fantastic. They both have the black bezel, but the Baton 3 and the Seeker 2 Pro, with more of that EDC light sort of aspect, they have the gold bezels, which I'm a huge fan of. Typical Olight packaging, very good quality stuff. You have your warnings that we've all seen before. The light itself comes in the case, or in the carrying case, just like this, with the plastic O-rings on the bottom, with the snap on the side, and then a more permanent fixed sewn-in option for extra strength there. Let's pop it out, see what we have here. And isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? The gold bezels, of course, like we were discussing, so shiny. I think the gold and the green match really well. These happen to be the colors of my high school football team, so maybe there's something there. But the gold here is just about as shiny as I've ever seen a gold bezel. I'm going to show you another gold bezel just to have a comparison. Alright, before we get too ahead of ourselves, I also want to show you the rest of what's in the box here. So in the bottom we have our L-Dock, which I think is a really great added value for the Seeker 2 Pro. It's one of the only lights that Olight sells that has the L-Dock included. And then in the other little box here we have the MC charger and microfiber cloth for when you install the L-Dock, as well as a little gripper for running the wire to the L-Dock. Microfiber cloth is Olight branded, which I think is very cool. This does include the MC1AL, which is a 1 amp charger, but it is very long, so that you can put this L-Dock wherever you might need to put it in your house. I'll give you a little look here at the L-Dock. Comes with screws and with adhesive, so that you can just stick it anywhere. Very strong magnet. The Seeker 2 has a very strong magnet, and there is a magnet in the L-Dock as well. Very interesting charging option that comes right in the box. And with such a long cable, they also include 2 of these little stick-on clips, so that you can route the wire to whatever location where you want to your L-Dock to live, without having your MC cable sort of all dangling around. Very complete package here. Makes a great gift. Okay, a really quick comparison in the colors here. We have the OD Green on the Seeker 2 and the OD Green on the M2R Pro. Very similar colors, a really great match actually. I don't have the OD Green Marauder 2, but I hope some of you out there can do this comparison for yourselves and see how similar, how good of a match these two colors are together. Now, having the gold bezel on the Seeker 2 I think is very, very impressive, very fancy, but I understand why they went with the black bezel on the other models like the M2R and the Marauder 2, because they're a bit more of a tactical application, so you might want them to be a little more serious, whereas something like this, that's an everyday carry type of light, it's really multi-purpose, you can afford to have that a little bit more shiny, a little more fancy. For other comparisons of the gold bezel, just to show you that there is some this has happened before. Olight has some previous models coming out in the OD green. Sorry, with the gold bezel. We got the S1 or Baton 2 with the gold bezel, and then the S1 Baton in titanium as well had the gold bezel. Moving on from that, I don't know why I'm so attracted to that, maybe just because of how shiny it is. You have the rubber surface for grip, which is another really excellent feature of the Seeker 2 Pro. Feels really good in the hand. I have several more models up here that I'm going to show you for comparison as well. All right, now if I can stick to under 10 minutes of runtime, I'm going to show you some of the other Seeker 2 Pro models that I have in my collection. Now the first special edition color that they released with the Seeker 2 Pro was the Coyote Tan. So they had that one out, and when they launched the model, I bought one of those originally because I just couldn't keep my hands off of it, but now that's serving in the oil fields of Calgary with my cousin, so shout outs to my cousin for that. The next one that came out was the orange, which was absolutely going to be a no-brainer for me. I think it might even be the first orange Olight that they put out as a special edition in the modern era. So this one's my EDC. It's got a lot of hours on it, lives in my backpack. It's a little dusty, a little scratched up, but the orange definitely my favorite one to carry. The blue one came around a little bit later, but you know, it's Olight blue, so we gotta have it. Another really interesting thing that I can mention is the Seeker 2, which is different from the Seeker 2 Pro, came out after the Seeker 2 Pro. Thought that was very interesting that they would make the base model come out later than the genuine article, but so be it. The key differences is there's no rubber grip on the Seeker 2. This blue edition was the launch special edition, and I don't think they've done any other special editions of the Seeker 2 Pro, Seeker 2. What I really like about this is the way that it feels in your hand. It has these sort of scalloped edges, which feels really nice, and it is a little bit more of a matte finish compared to the blue of the other Seeker 2 Pro, but you know, it's pretty close. You also don't have the multi-indicator, so that's a bit of a step down, and it's a different LED manufacturer as well, but you do get the same 3 LED arrangement, and don't quote me, but I don't think this one comes with the L dock. So those are the main differences, the multi-indicator and the grip and the LEDs and the lack of the L dock. But besides that, still a really great light. Moving right along, we've got this one from my collection, the Seafoam Green, I've heard it called, but they call it Mint Green. This was one of 2 Olight models that came out in Mint Green, this one and the I1R2. So if you're a big fan of this color, those are the only 2 options you got. And lastly, from my collection is this carbon fiber version, which I think is very unique because this is the first edition that had the hydro dip coating. Olight didn't go back to this maybe for a couple of reasons. You know, it's not quite as durable as a aluminum anodized finish, but the pattern on it is very, very interesting. Very intricate carbon fiber pattern, hydro dipped onto the light. I carried it once. I kind of regret it because it did chip off the coating a little bit just from having it in the sheath in the backpack, but still something pretty cool out of the collection. Okay, so I did title this video Everything Interesting That I Can Come Up With to talk about the Seeker 2 Pro. So let's go ahead and dive into the battery. It's a 21700 battery, which is bespoke to this Olight lineup. It is the same one that's in the M2R Pro, so you can't swap them back and forth. They only charge in the case here. They won't charge in your regular chargers, but of course that's typical Olight. Who needs a wall charger when you got your MC1AL right here? What else? Okay, we got the pocket clip, which does not come with, but is an optional extra. I do have a couple on, and then a couple without. This one, you wouldn't want to put the clip on this one, might scratch the paint job. This one, I think, is going to probably take the clip off of the blue one, which is a bit of a shelf queen. I want to get this one into my rotation because I do happen to carry around the OD Green M2R. This is the one that I carry, as well as carrying this one, not in the same backpack, but in two different packs. But this one's definitely going to spend some time on my hip because I just think it's just that cool. Just in case you're curious, the pocket clip does play nicely with the sheath. It'll come into here, fits really nicely, so no worries there. This is my preferred carry for this item. Just sort of tucks into a pouch at the bottom of my backpack. Okay, I almost finished editing this video when I realized I didn't say anything about timer mode, which is a very interesting feature on both the Seeker 2 Pro and the Seeker 2. Also features on the Baton series of lights. So if you turn your light on and then you press and then press again and hold, looks like this, the light will flash. And if it flashes twice like you saw there, it'll turn itself off after 9 minutes. And if we do it again, it flashes once, and that way it turns off after 3 minutes. And that works on both of these lights and the Baton lights. Now, back to the conclusion of the video. Okay, so I think that just about does it for everything interesting I can think about to say about the Seeker 2 Pro. So thanks for tuning in. This is my 4th video here on Facebook, but come check me out on YouTube as well. There'll be a link in the description. Leave a comment, tell me what you think, and don't hesitate to participate in Reviewer 2 contest, because there's only good things can happen when people are talking about Olights, because only good things can happen when people are talking about Olights. So bring it on, let's see what you got. Reviewer 2, use the hashtag Reviewer 2. If you have any questions, please let me know, and we'll see you next time.